Question number 2. So what is the integral of x squared minus 4 from the interval 0 to 4? So in this case, what they're asking us to solve is the definite integral of the function x squared minus 4 from interval 4 to 0. Okay, that's what they're looking for. And they're looking for the area under the curve, basically. So to do these definite integrals, first of all, you'll have to integrate your inside function, and then you have to calculate the area with the designated interval. So the junior tutor outlined some of the formulas or some of the properties that we can use here. They listed out the difference rule of integration, which suggests that the integral of two functions that are subtracted from each other can be split up. It's kind of like a distributive property. They also suggested that we use the power rule of integration, which pertains to how to integrate variables with exponents and powers. And finally, they suggested that we use the constant multiple rule of integration, which tells us how to integrate constants. Okay, so we're going to use those rules. So the first thing that we're going to do here is that we see that our function here could be considered the difference between two functions. So we're going to use a difference rule of integration to break them up, okay? So this would be x squared dx minus 4 dx, okay? So our first integral here, we can use the power rule, which suggests that x to the n equals integral of that as x to the n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So we're going to do that here. So after we do that, this function is done is done for the integral. So this would be 1 over 3 times x cubed, and the interval here is 4 and 0. And we're also going to use a constant multiple rule of integration for this one. So that would be for x, okay, 4, 0. Okay, cool. So you guys can notice here that in our suggested rule properties, they included the c constant, right? So you only consider adding the c constant when you have an indefinite integral, okay? Because when you're calculating the area for definite integrals, you actually cancel out the constant when you're calculating your integrals, okay? Cool. So now we're going to calculate the area under the curve, or we're going to calculate the difference between the interval 4 and 0 of these two integrals, I guess you can say. So let's do that now. So we have 4 to the 3 is 64 over 3, right? 4 cubed is 4 squared is 16. 16 times 4 is 64 minus 1 over 3. Okay, so that's our first one. This should be a 0. Why did I? So this should be 0. Sorry, that was a 1. So this should be a 0. Okay. The second function is 16 minus 0. Okay, which is a 16. So all we get here is 64 over 3 minus 16. Okay, cool. So now we're going to simplify this fraction here. This is 64 minus 48 divided by 3, and that is equal to 16 over 3. So therefore, the definite integral from 4 to 0 of x squared minus 4 is equal to 16 over 3. Right? So that's the area under the curve of x squared minus 4. Okay, so the junior tutor also did the same solution. They used all these properties to simplify their integral and then integrated. And then they calculated the area under the curve, or the difference between 4 to 0. Yeah, and they came up with the same solution. Okay, cool.